Every morning I wake up without pain, without pills, and with a peaceful heart. I am 94 years old and I still live alone. I do my own cooking, sweep my porch, and tend to my garden with joy. People often ask me, "What's your secret?" And the truth is, there is no magic. Just 5 simple morning habits that I started many years ago and stayed consistent with. Now I know if you are listening to this, you might be dealing with morning stiffness, fatigue, or a foggy mind. Perhaps your doctor has told you, that's just aging. But I'm here to tell you they are wrong. You do not have to live that way. Today I'm going to share the exact 5 things I do every single morning that have kept me not just surviving but thriving, without any medications, without any fancy routines. And these are habits any woman, no matter her age, can start tomorrow morning. One of these habits helped my dear friend regain her balance and stop needing a walker. Another completely transformed how I sleep at night. And the third one, it made me feel more mentally sharp than I have in decades. If you give me just a few minutes of your time today, I promise to give you back something even better. Hope, strength, and a plan you can actually follow to reclaim your mornings and your life. My 5 morning habits for a life without limits habit. Number 1. The 1 glass of water that changed everything. Let me ask you a question. How do you truly start your morning? For years, my day began like many women my age. Wake up stiff, shuffle to the kitchen, pour a cup of coffee, and hope the fog in my head would clear by mid-morning. But that fog, that stiffness, that pervasive heaviness, it was not just aging. It was dehydration, and it was silently making things worse every single morning. I learned this when I was 75. That year I started getting dizzy spells. My fingers would feel swollen. My knees ached before I even stood up. My doctor casually dismissed it, saying, "That's just what happens in your 70s. But deep down, I refused to accept that as my destiny. I started reading, digging, asking questions, and what I found shocked me. We lose nearly 1 liter of water every night, just through breathing and skin evaporation. That's about 4 full cups. And yet, what do most of us do the moment we wake up? We reach for coffee, which is a diuretic, and actually dehydrates us further. It's like trying to drive your car with no oil in the engine. Studies from Johns Hopkins Medicine have consistently shown that even mild dehydration in people over 65 can reduce brain function by over 25%. It also increases systemic inflammation, which makes joint pain worse, and can even accelerate cellular aging throughout the body, including in the brain. That undeniable evidence was enough to make me change. So I began a simple ritual that I have not skipped in nearly 20 years. Here's what I do. Every night before I go to bed, I pour a glass of room temperature water, 16 ounces to be exact. I add just a pinch of natural sea salt, not table salt, not flavored powder, just a pinch of mineral-rich, unrefined salt. And when I wake up, before coffee, before breakfast, before I even talk to anyone, I drink every last drop. That one simple step, taking just 30 seconds, fundamentally changed how my entire day feels. Within the first few mornings, I noticed my knees felt smoother, my hands less swollen, and my thoughts were remarkably clearer before 8 a.m. Why the salt? Because your body needs electrolytes to absorb water effectively at the cellular level. The small amount of natural sea salt provides these vital electrolytes, helping your cells pull in the hydration, restoring balance faster. This process is called osmotic absorption, and it is critical after 8 hours of fasting and fluid loss. For those who do not love plain water first thing, I sometimes add a small squeeze of lemon, which provides additional electrolytes and a gentle detoxifying effect. But no sugar, no honey, and absolutely no juice. Anything sweet can trigger an insulin response that interferes with your body's ability to metabolically reset and burn fat in the morning. Let me tell you about my friend Mary Lou. She's 82, lives down the street, and had been dealing with daily headaches and occasional faint spells. Her doctor gave her blood pressure medication, but nothing seemed to truly work. One afternoon, I told her about this little water ritual. She laughed, saying, "That's too simple to make a difference." But she tried it. 3 days later, the headaches stopped. A week later, she called me, tears in her eyes, saying, "I woke up and stood up without holding on to the wall." Ladies, it is not magic. It is biology. Our bodies are profoundly thirsty first thing in the morning, and when we do not listen, they protest with fatigue, aches, pains, and mental confusion. You deserve better mornings. You deserve energy and clarity. And you can start tomorrow with 1 glass of water and a pinch of salt. So tonight, before bed, fill your glass, set it on your nightstand, make it easy, make it beautiful. Add a slice of lemon if you like, and in the morning, before anything else, drink deeply. It is one act of profound love for your body, and I promise, it will love you right back. Habit number 2, let the light in. How morning sunlight restores balance and joy. Do you remember when mornings used to feel fresh? When the sun streaming through your curtains made you feel genuinely ready to take on the day? I remember that feeling. And I vividly remember when that feeling started to fade. In my 70s, even though I was sleeping the same 8 hours, I started waking up tired. I was in bed by 10 p.m., up by 6 a.m., but still groggy, still low in mood. I would sit with my coffee and feel like I was watching the world wake up without me, separate from its rhythm. Then one day my granddaughter asked a question that changed everything. She looked at me and said, "Grandma, why don't you ever sit on the porch in the morning anymore?" That question hit me like a revelation. I used to love that time, the light, the quiet, the bird song. But somewhere along the way I had stopped stepping outside first thing. I was too busy, too tired, too distracted, and I simply did not realize what I had been missing. Let me tell you what I've since learned and why every woman over 60 needs to hear this. Your body runs on a fundamental biological rhythm, a natural 24-hour clock called the circadian rhythm, and it does not just affect sleep. This intricate biological clock controls over 150 essential functions in your body, including your hormonal balance, digestive health, immune system function, mood regulation, and even how well your body repairs itself overnight. But here is the critical key. That clock has to be reset every single day. And the most powerful reset switch? It is natural outdoor morning light. Not just any light, not a lamp, not your kitchen overheads, but real, unfiltered outdoor morning light. Studies from prestigious institutions like Stanford and the University of Colorado consistently show that just 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight exposure can boost your serotonin levels, the brain's natural feel-good chemical, by over 40%. That same light also sends a crucial signal to your brain to stop producing melatonin, which helps you wake up naturally and sets the stage for much deeper, more restorative sleep that very same night. And the benefits extend far beyond sleep and mood. Serotonin also profoundly affects appetite regulation, digestion, and even how connected and empathetic we feel toward the people around us. I did not know any of this scientific detail when I was 77 and feeling perpetually low. I just knew that I desperately missed feeling truly awake and alive. That's when I started my morning porch ritual again. Here's what I do and what I hope you will try. Every morning within 30 minutes of waking, I step outside. Sometimes I bring my tea. Sometimes I just stand or sit quietly, simply breathing. I stay out there for 10 to 15 minutes. Crucially, no sunglasses and no regular glasses if I can help it. I let the natural light hit my eyes. It is important that the light enters through your eyes, not just your skin, because special photoreceptors in your retina directly signal your brain to reset your internal clock. Without that signal, your body can remain in a low-energy, sleep mode all day long. That is why artificial lights and indoor windows do not have the same powerful effect. Even on cloudy days, the light outside is strong enough to do the job. And if it's cold, I wrap up in a warm shawl and go anyway. I've even done it in the rain under my porch roof, just to get that vital light. Let me share the story of my dear friend Dolores. She's 81 and had struggled with chronic insomnia for years. She tried melatonin supplements, calming teas, and even prescription sleep aids, but nothing truly worked consistently. One Sunday after church, I told her about my simple sunlight habit. She laughed at first, saying, "I don't think sitting on the porch is going to fix my sleep, dear." But I asked her to try it for just 1 week. That Friday, she called me, her voice filled with disbelief. "I fell asleep last night at 9:30 and I didn't wake up until 6 or I haven't done that in a decade." Since then, she started taking her coffee outside each morning and says it is now her favorite, most peaceful part of the day. Ladies, we grew up in a generation that often told us to stay busy, stay productive, stay inside. But our bodies are far wiser than that. They need the profound rhythm of nature. And we are never, ever too old to reconnect with it. So tomorrow, open that front door. Step out, even if it is just for a few minutes. Let the sunlight touch your face. Let your eyes take in the morning. It is not just light, it is life. And if you listen closely, you might even hear your body whisper, "Thank you."
Habit number 3. Just 4 minutes to keep your mind sharp. The morning brain ritual.
I want to ask you something from the heart. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Or stood in the kitchen staring blankly at the fridge, wondering what you were about to do? I have. And I will tell you, when it first started happening to me more frequently, it truly scared me. Because as women, we carry so much vital information in our minds. Names, dates, cherished memories, intricate to-do lists. And when those little slips start happening more often, it feels like something precious and irreplaceable is slipping away. But here is the profound truth that changed everything for me. Your brain is not broken. It is just underused in the wrong way at the wrong time. What I discovered in my late 70s saved me years of worry and has kept my mind vibrant. And it only takes 4 minutes every single morning. Let me explain the science behind it. Right after you wake up, your brain is in a unique and incredibly receptive state. Scientists call this state plastic, which means it is more open to forming new neural connections and strengthening existing ones. During this morning window, you have naturally higher levels of something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is often referred to as brain fertilizer. BDNF helps new neurons grow, connect, and repair themselves. This crucial window of brain opportunity only lasts a short while in the morning. If you miss it, it closes. But if you use it wisely, you can powerfully strengthen your memory, enhance your mental clarity, and even protect against long-term cognitive decline. So what do most people typically do first thing in the morning? They scroll mindlessly on their phones, absorb anxiety-inducing news, or sit in silence with their worries. But what if instead, you gave your brain just 4 minutes of purposeful, joyful engagement? I call it my morning mind tune-up, and I have done it every day since I turned 70. It looks like this. 1 minute. Solve a simple math problem. Maybe it is 23 plus 18 or 5x 6. Keep it easy enough not to be frustrating, but challenging enough so it's not automatic. This gently wakes up your logical and analytical brain. 1 minute. Recall a detailed memory. Close your eyes and vividly remember a joyful past event. Perhaps your wedding day, the specific scent of your mother's kitchen, or your child's first Christmas morning. Try to picture the scene with all your senses, the faces, the colors, the sounds, the emotions. This strengthens your episodic memory and emotional processing. 1 minute. Learn 4 new words. You can read them from a book, a calendar, or a pre-made list. Say them aloud. Use one in a simple sentence. This actively strengthens your language centers and expands your vocabulary. 1 minute. Visualize your day. Picture yourself moving through the morning with calm, strength, and joy. Visualize successfully completing your tasks, connecting meaningfully with loved ones, and feeling vibrant. This boosts your executive brain function and emotional resilience, setting a positive tone for the day. That is it. Just 4 minutes. And yet the impact has been truly remarkable. I used to forget names in church or during conversations. Now I often remember people I met years ago with surprising clarity. I used to fumble with words or lose my train of thought. Now I feel articulate and confident. I used to feel a vague sense of uncertainty about the day ahead. Now, I walk into it with purpose and mental readiness. And this is not just my experience. My friend Carolyn, who is 88 and recovering from a hip replacement, kept up this practice even when her physical therapy was limited. Her doctor commented that her mental recovery and continued sharpness were unusually strong for her age. It works because it is simple, gentle, and consistently stimulating. You do not need expensive apps, complex puzzles, or fancy subscriptions. Just a notepad, a quiet space, and 4 minutes of loving, focused attention to the most powerful organ in your body, your mind. I keep a small, colorful journal by my breakfast chair. I call it my morning brain garden. Each day I plant something new, and over time, it has bloomed into incredible clarity, confidence, and even joy. So tomorrow, take those 4 precious minutes. Before the noise, before the chores, before the world asks for anything from you, give something to your mind. You are not losing your memory. You are actively reclaiming and strengthening it, 1 minute at a time. Habit number 4, move with grace. The gentle morning routine that keeps you independent. Let me tell you a little secret. It is not youth that keeps you truly independent as you age. It is mobility. The ability to get out of a chair without pain, to bend down and pick something up without fear, to walk across your kitchen or your garden with unshakable confidence. And I will tell you this, not everyone over 80 can do that, but you absolutely can. And it starts with how you move in the first 30 minutes of your day. I used to believe, like many women, that aggressive stretching was the best way to wake up the body. I had an old VHS tape with vigorous yoga poses from the 90s. I would reach for my toes, twist my back, roll my neck in jarring ways, and wonder why I often felt worse afterward, stiffer, sometimes even a little sore. Then at 86, I started feeling sharp pinches in my lower back. Getting up from the couch became a struggle, sometimes requiring me to push off with my arms. One terrifying morning, I lost my balance trying to put on socks, and that incident truly scared me. So I decided to consult a physical therapist who specialized in older women, and what she told me changed everything. She said, "The stretches you did in your 40s are no longer helping. In fact, for an older body, they may actually be causing harm. Here is why. As we age, our joints naturally lose some of their lubricating fluid. Our connective tissues, like tendons and ligaments, become less elastic, and our spine becomes more sensitive to certain types of pressure and twisting. What worked decades ago can now cause micro tears, inflammation, and instability. But movement is still absolutely essential. We just have to move smarter, with purpose, with gentleness, and in a specific sequence that respects our changing biology. I now follow what I call my inside-out mobility sequence. It is only 7 minutes long, but it is the fundamental reason I can still garden, kneel to pray, and carry my laundry up and down the steps with ease. Let me walk you through it. Step 1. Shoulder circles, 30 seconds. Sit upright in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor. Let your arms rest by your sides. Slowly make small circles forward for 15 seconds, then backward for 15 seconds. This gently increases circulation in your upper body and warms up stiff shoulder joints, improving range of motion. Step 2. Seated marching, 1 minute. Stay in your chair. Lift one knee towards your chest, then slowly lower it. Then lift the other knee. Imagine a gentle march in place. Go slowly and breathe deeply. This activates your core muscles and brings vital blood flow to your hips and legs without putting stress on your spine. Step 3. Doorway chest expansions, 30 seconds. Stand in a doorway with your hands on either side of the frame at shoulder height. Gently lean forward until you feel a comfortable stretch across your chest and the front of your shoulders. Hold it for 30 seconds, breathing deeply. This helps to counteract the rounded, hunched posture we often develop from years of caregiving, typing, or sitting. Step 4. Supported squats, 1 minute. Stand in front of a counter or the back of a sturdy chair, holding on lightly for balance. Place your feet hip-width apart. Slowly bend your knees just a little, pushing your hips back as if you're about to sit down, only going as far as comfortable. Then return to standing. Repeat slowly. This strengthens your thighs and glutes, your body's strongest muscles and key to staying independent and preventing falls. Step 5. Seated ankle circles, 1 minute per foot. Sit comfortably again. Lift one foot slightly off the floor and slowly circle your ankle clockwise for 30 seconds, then counterclockwise for 30 seconds. Repeat on the other foot. These tiny movements improve ankle flexibility, balance, and blood flow, which are crucial for stable walking and helping to prevent trips and falls. That is it. 7 gentle minutes. No floor work, no mats, no pain. And the astonishing result? My joints no longer ache when I wake up. I can carry heavy groceries, lift a grandchild, and move through my day with newfound confidence and ease. And perhaps most importantly, I feel strong and capable in my own body again. Let me share the story of Nancy. She's 87 and used to rely heavily on a walker, especially in the mornings, believing that was just her new normal. But after just 2 weeks of consistently practicing this inside-out mobility sequence, she no longer needed her walker around the house. She said, "I feel like my body finally woke up and remembered how to move." Ladies, you do not need to accept stiffness and reduced mobility as your destiny. Your body may be older, but it still wants to move. It still wants to serve you. All it needs is a little warmth, a little rhythm, and a little love. So tomorrow morning, before you rush to make breakfast or check your phone, take 7 sacred minutes. Make this your ritual of movement, your morning act of self-respect. And remember, mobility is not about vanity. It is about dignity, freedom, and the joy of a life lived on your own terms. Habit number 5, feed your strength, the breakfast that keeps you standing tall. Let me ask you something simple but incredibly important. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? Was it toast, a banana, perhaps just a cup of coffee, or a little jam on an English muffin? Now let me ask something else. Did you feel genuinely full of sustained energy afterward? Or did you experience a familiar crash by mid-morning, needing another cup of coffee just to get going? For years, my breakfast was exactly that. Light, sweet, and fast. I truly thought I was doing the right thing. I believed that as I got older, I needed to eat light in the morning to maintain my weight. But I was profoundly wrong, and I paid for it with insidious muscle loss, persistent fatigue, and a feeling of weakness I simply could not explain. What I did not know then is what I want to share with you now, because it changed everything for me and can for you too. After the age of 60, something crucial shifts in your body. Your muscles become resistant to growth and maintenance, even if you are eating the same amount of protein as before. This is called anabolic resistance. It means your body does not build or maintain muscle as easily, and it accelerates muscle loss, sarcopenia. To counteract this, you need more protein and you need it at the right time. And the most powerful time is first thing in the morning. Researchers at Tufts University have found that older adults who consume 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein within the first hour of waking had stronger grip strength, better balance, and significantly slower rates of muscle loss, regardless of what they ate the rest of the day. This one habit, strategically changing when I ate my protein, helped me keep my strength, my energy, and my ability to do things for myself without assistance. So what does this look like in practice? Here is what I eat most mornings to hit that protein target. 2 scrambled eggs, half a cup of cottage cheese, and a small cup of green tea. Or, if I'm in the mood for something cold and creamy, Greek yogurt with a scoop of unflavored protein powder mixed in, a handful of fresh berries for antioxidants, and a few walnuts for healthy fats. Sometimes I make a quick smoothie with whey protein, unsweetened almond milk, a spoonful of collagen powder, great for joints and skin, and a frozen banana for creaminess. It is delicious, easy to digest, and packed with nutrients. The key is getting at least 25 to 30 grams of protein in one concentrated dose in your morning meal, not spread out all day. That targeted, concentrated dose is precisely what your muscles need to wake up, respond, and engage in repair and maintenance after a night of fasting. Let me tell you about my friend Viola. She is 91 and one of the sharpest, most graceful women I know. But a few years ago, she started struggling to lift her grocery bags. Her doctor told her to exercise more, but that was not the real issue. We looked at her breakfast: plain toast, fruit, and black coffee. No protein, no real muscle fuel. She made one simple change. She added 2 eggs and a side of yogurt to her breakfast every morning. Within a month, she called me exclaiming, "I feel strong again. I feel like myself." That is the profound power of feeding your body what it needs, when it needs it. And here is one more strategic tip. Eat your protein after your mobility routine. Moving first improves blood flow to your muscles, making them even more responsive to the protein that follows. So move, then fuel. And remember, avoid starting your day with high-sugar foods like sweet cereals, muffins, or fruit juices. They give you a quick rush, but then crash your energy, interfere with healthy fat burning, and diminish brain clarity. You do not need a bodybuilder's diet. You do not need fancy powders or expensive, complicated meals. Just real food, real protein at the right time. Because when you feed your strength, you feed your independence. You feed your ability to rise from your chair with ease, to reach that top shelf, to carry your grandchild, to walk into the world tall, steady, and capable. And that, my dear friends, is worth far more than any number on a scale or any fleeting trend. So tomorrow morning, before you sip your coffee or reach for that toast, pause and ask yourself, am I feeding my strength or just my habit? Your muscles are still listening. Give them what they need. So there you have it. 5 simple, powerful things. A glass of water to hydrate your cells. A few minutes in the morning light to reset your internal clock. A quick tune-up for your beautiful mind. Gentle movements that respect and empower your body. And a breakfast that feeds your strength and independence. No prescriptions, no gimmicks, just small, powerful choices made every single morning. I am 94 years old today. I still sweep my porch. I still write in my journal. I still laugh out loud with my great-grandkids. And I believe deep in my bones that you can feel strong, clear, and joyful again too. Not by changing everything, but by changing your mornings. Your body is still listening, your mind is still blooming, and your life is still worth showing up for with energy, clarity, and grace. If this video touched you, I would love to hear from you. Which habit will you try first tomorrow morning? Leave me a comment below. I read every single one. And if you know a sister, a friend, a neighbor, or anyone who needs this message of hope and strength, please share it with her. We are never too old to grow, never too late to feel better. And next week I will be sharing the evening habits that help me fall asleep naturally without a single sleep aid. So, hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Until then, may your mornings be gentle, your steps be steady, and your heart feel light with love from one wise woman to another.